No one talks about growing up the ugly friend that was never actually ugly. I was just black. Being a black girl was like an automatic write-off. What do you mean you're black? You're ugly. Like, I remember anytime me and my friends would go out, like all my friends were white, by the way. And anytime we would go out.
All her friends are white. That leads me to believe that you probably live in a predominantly white area, so you are 1000% not going to be the standard of beauty in that environment. Most of the men there are probably going to be white guys who want to date white girls because majority of people want to date within their own demographic and group. So your perception of this is going to be already skewered. You was in an environment that does not suit your demographic. You was an extreme ethnic minority, and we know the standard of beauty in the mainstream is white.
Honestly, it would be like I wasn't even there. I wouldn't even get a hello. The most I'd get is this. Ugh. Like, why have you brought your pet monkey out with you? Pure invisible.
Wow.
Every other day it was black girls this, black girls that, black, 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 black. Until I think it was around like sixth form. This is like 2014/2015. It started to switch. This was when Afrobeat started coming up. Now it was cool to be black. It was cool to be African. It was cool to be Nigerian. Whereas a couple of weeks before that was illegal. Then all of a sudden I'm going, oh, you know, Tammy's kind of like, Tammy's what? Tammy was Jabinho last week, or whatever other football players you guys like to compare me to. I remember around the early stages where it started to switch around. We went out. I think it was my 18th. I just turned 18. For reference, this is what I look like at 18. Sorry, that's actually very cute. But anyway, we went out and I remember there was this like group of white boys and one of them was like,
what did I tell you? She's around white people and in white environments, and she's wondering why she's not getting the same level of attention as the white girls that she's hanging around. Duh, think about it.
Oh, I like her, like pointing at me. And then my friend at the time was like, wait, who? And then pointed out one of the other white girls that we were with. Like, of course it can't be Xavier talking about, not the monkey. So then he was like, no, her, that girl, pointing at me again. Then she came up to me and was like, oh, you're never gonna guess what? He just said that he prefers you over, let's say the girl's name is Kelly. She literally came up to me with excitement and shock. He just said that he prefers you over Kelly. She said it like it was, whoa, what? What's going on with all of that? Like it couldn't be possible. Thankfully, I always had high self-esteem. Like I knew who I was from a very early age. Because if not, I would have grown up thinking I was butt ugly all that time. It was when I got to uni that the appreciation actually started to settle in.
Yeah, and I've talked about this phenomena many times, that black people, whether it's black men or black women that live in predominantly white areas, you will start to feel like maybe I am very unattractive because the people in your environment are suited to their own ethnic group. They predominantly want to date their own ethnic group, and they are not going to view you as attractive. I think that a lot of people don't understand this point. And me personally, I've lived in all different environments. I've lived in predominantly black environments as a black guy, mixed environments as a black guy, and predominantly white environments as a black guy. And I understand the difference. So when you are in a predominantly white environment as a black person, people are not going to view you as attractive like that. There's always going to be one or two exceptions, or one or two people might appreciate you and whatever, but the vast majority of people, they don't find you attractive. It's as simple as that. But that doesn't mean that you're ugly. It doesn't necessarily mean you're ugly. It just means you're in the wrong location. You're in the wrong market.
As someone who was never considered pretty going to school, and that was usually because I was dark-skinned, I'm realizing how much of that played into how I see myself with other people, specifically men now. A lot of my friends have this great way of carrying themselves when it comes to men and entering certain rooms that I've always been like, oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. But I realized that I didn't carry it the same because I was still holding on to the younger version of me that didn't feel like they were attractive enough. Even so, when it came to men approaching me, I felt like I had to entertain them because who knew if it would happen again, because, you know, kind of felt like an ugly girl syndrome. Like it would not happen. It was once in a blue, even to the point of dating attractive men. I was like, but damn, how'd I land him? But now that I'm older and I am so aware of myself and so aware of all of this and the rest of the body, because I know y'all seen it, I have now come to the point where I'm just like, bitch, what are you doing? But it's in the sense of I'm very proud of myself. I'm like, yes, Fab, now we're aware of who we are. We're aware of how we are presented in this world. So let's change how we do things. So if you are a man that had access to me in a certain way, please know it's now revoked.
A lot of these women have come out, they're talking about, oh, I used to be unattractive, or people treated me like I'm unattractive. Now they all got ego. Now they're all tens.
I know what I deserve. And it's not crumbs. It's not the bare minimum. And it's not bullshit. I'm sorry to you, but I'm thankful to me. She's aware. If you're a girl that's not aware, a girl, guy, gay, they, whatever, it's okay. It'll take time sometimes. But start looking at yourself in the mirror. Start being aware of how you carry yourself. Start being aware of like, wow, I'm amazing. Why wouldn't somebody want to be with me? So then you can act accordingly and not put up with the bullshit. Because going forward, I'm very much staying present. I'm very much being aware of who I am and what I deserve. And if you cannot come with all the goods, it's been real.
Everybody deserves respect from a partner and treated fairly and stuff like that. But there is levels to this. Everybody is not the same looks level. You could believe whatever you think about yourself, but really and truly, are you your type's type? And you have to be real about it. Does your type gravitate to you?
Clear. I'm not saying it in the sense of, oh, I'm a gold digger, this, that, and third. I'm saying it in the sense of emotional well-being, feeling safe around you and protected around you, feeling like I actually want to be my full self with you, not parts of myself. And if I don't feel that way, then again,
they're talking all of this stuff, but these are the same women that are rejecting men that are on the same looks level as themselves. I'll say that again. The irony is these same women that are complaining about, oh, in high school, no one cared about me. They said I was unattractive. They didn't want to talk to me, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Today, they're now rejecting men who are on the same looks level as themselves. They are rejecting men based on looks because most women these days think they're tens. Most women these days want to get with Chad or Tyrone.
I'm Tyrone.
I was the ugly friend for years and I didn't even know. My friend and I would always hang out all the time. And it was cool. My friends were pretty. Obviously, I don't know. I just knew really pretty girls and I used to hang out with them all the time.
Women always say that their friends are pretty. And I never trust that, bro.
My friend posted one of my pictures recently and they were like, and the guy was like, oh, wow, is this that your friend? She's now fine, oh. So she told me this thing and she was like, that people are hyping my pico. They were like that, that's, one of her friends was like, that I'm now fine. Oh. She now told me somebody else was like, who is this girl? Bear in mind, this babe, we hang out if you know her, you know me. If you know me, you know her, that sort of thing. So it's for people to still be shocked and surprised then they're posting my picture. It was not computing to me. I was like, okay, I didn't take it as anything. But then, true to myself, at the end of the day, as an overthinker, I started just thinking about it this one, everybody's like, you are now fine. Were you ugly before? Were you ugly before? I don't know how to explain it, but that was what came to my mind. Oh my God, these people must have probably thought that I was not fine before. Then I was still thinking it too. My friend now confirmed it for me. I was like, they must have thought I was ugly. And then she now told me how one of the guys there was like, oh, this your ugly friend that year. People really used to think I was ugly. The point of this conversation is that I didn't know that people used to think I was not pretty or I was not fine. And quite frankly, I'm so thankful that I did not know. Because imagine if I knew. How would I have grown up? How would I have been operating
You would have grown up with insecurity and low self-esteem. That's what would have happened. You probably would be making a different kind of video right now.
What people think of you truly doesn't matter. It's what you think about yourself. Because see how my ignorance has even saved me. And I can just imagine how many times maybe those people would have been I don't know how to explain it. I can just imagine how many times they'll probably be seeing me that year and I'll be dressing up and feeling like a gorgeous girl because I truly used to feel gorgeous and I'm gorgeous. I still feel gorgeous, whatever. But that year, I used to slay. I used to think that, I'm dressing up, I'm looking nice, I'll do my makeup. I even learned how to do eyebrows back in the day. So nobody could tell me anything. So to me now, it's really crazy. But it just further cements the thing that I want to say in this video, which is that what people think about you is not your problem. It's what you think about yourself that is the most important thing. And if you're operating on the high energy of what you think about yourself, there's nothing anybody's saying that's going to affect you. They can think it in their minds, but it's not affecting you.
That's not quite true. If you understood what people were thinking about you, it would have affected you, because obviously looks is very important to you. So what you're saying is not completely accurate. The theory is good, but the reality is the reality.